I used to believe jealousy was loud. I thought jealous people were obvious, the bitter coworker who rolled his eyes at your success, the fake friend who congratulated you through clenched teeth, the relative who suddenly found flaws in everything you did. I was wrong. Real jealousy is quiet. It smiles at you. It hugs you. It tells you, "I'm proud of you, man." And then, when your back is turned, it slowly starts digging your grave. I learned that lesson because of Daniel. Daniel wasn't just my best friend. He was my brother, or at least that's what I called him. We met when we were 17, two broke kids in a cold corner of Chicago with big dreams and empty pockets. We both came from families that barely held themselves together. We both knew what it felt like to watch rich people live lives that felt impossible. We both promised each other something. One day, we'd make it. And for years, we moved like one person in two bodies. Same college. Same cheap apartment. Same late-night talks about money, success, and escape. When I got rejected from jobs, Daniel sat beside me and said, "Their loss. You're built for bigger things." When he got dumped by the woman he wanted to marry, I stayed up with him until sunrise, listening to him cry into cheap whiskey and regret. We were family. Or at least I thought we were. Then my life changed. And his smile changed with it. It started small. The kind of small things most people ignore. I got a marketing job at a fast-growing startup downtown. Nothing glamorous, but 6 months in, I landed a campaign that exploded online. Sales tripled. The CEO noticed. Then came the promotion. Then came the bonus. Then came the new apartment, the one with floor-to-ceiling windows, city lights pouring in at night like stars had moved closer just to watch me win. I bought my mother a car. Paid off her debts. Started wearing tailored suits instead of clearance rack clothes. For the first time in my life, I wasn't surviving. I was rising. And Daniel was there for every moment. Clapping. Smiling. Celebrating. But jealousy doesn't always look like hate. Sometimes it looks like support until you pay attention. He started making jokes. At first, harmless. "Look at Mr. Corporate now. Don't forget us little people when you become a millionaire. Careful, money changes people." Everyone laughed. I laughed too. But his eyes didn't laugh. That's what haunted me later, his eyes. There was something dark behind them. Something heavy. Like every smile cost him pain. Then came subtle sabotage disguised as concern. Whenever I talked about a new opportunity, he'd say things like, "Sounds risky. You really trust those people? Success that comes fast usually ends fast." At the time, I thought he was protecting me. Now I know. He was praying I'd fail. Because my success was forcing him to confront his own life. And nothing hurts insecure people more than someone close to them becoming what they wanted to be. That's dark psychology no one talks about. People don't always hate your success because you changed. Sometimes they hate it because it reminds them they didn't. I ignored the signs. Then I met Claire. Beautiful. Sharp. Ambitious. The kind of woman who walked into a room and made silence feel loud. She loved my drive, but more importantly, she loved the version of me that still stayed humble. Daniel met her at a dinner party. He smiled. Shook her hand. Said, finally. Someone good enough for him. But Claire said something strange on the drive home. She asked, "Has Daniel always looked at you like that?" I laughed. Like what? She stared out the car window. Like he loves you and resents you at the same time. A chill ran through me. I brushed it off. But women notice emotional tension men ignore. And Claire noticed everything. Over the next few months, Daniel changed. He became distant, but strangely interested in every detail of my life. My income. My investments. My relationship. My plans. He asked too many questions. And I answered all of them. Because fools tell their secrets to people wearing familiar faces. Then one Friday night, after too much bourbon, Daniel said something that changed everything. He looked at my penthouse skyline view and whispered, "You know what's funny?" I smiled. "What?" He swirled his drink slowly. Then said, "I remember when we were equal. Equal. Not friends. Not brothers. Equal." That word hit differently. And for the first time, I saw it clearly. This was never just friendship. For Daniel, life had become a scoreboard. And every time I won, he felt humiliated. Jealous people don't celebrate your victories. They compare. They count. They keep secret records of every way life seems unfair. And eventually, comparison becomes poison. That poison became something worse. Obsession. 1 month later, my company's biggest confidential campaign leaked. Millions lost. Executives furious. Internal investigation opened. And somehow, evidence pointed to me. Emails sent from my account. Private files accessed under my login. Financial irregularities. I was suspended immediately. Claire looked terrified. My mother cried on the phone. My reputation. Gone overnight. And while the world turned cold, Daniel showed up at my apartment with whiskey and sympathy. He hugged me tight. And whispered, "I'm here for you, brother." But when he pulled away, I caught something on his face. Not sadness. Not concern. Satisfaction. Tiny. Quick. But real. A smile trying not to be seen. That was the moment my stomach dropped. Because deep inside, I finally understood something horrifying. My enemy had never been far away. He had been sitting at my table, laughing at my jokes, drinking my whiskey, calling me brother, while secretly waiting for my collapse. And the worst part? I still didn't know how deep his betrayal went, or what he had already taken from me. The night I realized Daniel might be behind everything, I didn't sleep. I sat alone in my dark apartment, Chicago's skyline glowing like cold fire outside my glass windows, replaying every moment of our friendship like a crime scene hidden inside memory. Every joke. Every strange look. Every warning disguised as advice. Every time he asked too many questions. And one thought kept hitting me harder than the last. What if Claire was right from the beginning? What if the man I trusted most had spent years quietly hating me? People think betrayal starts with a big moment. It doesn't. It starts with comparison. Then insecurity. Then resentment. Then a secret desire to watch you fall just to make their pain feel smaller. That's the psychology of envy. Jealous people don't always want your life. Sometimes they just don't want you to have it. At 3:17 a.m., I made a decision. I stopped being emotional. I started being careful. And I became dangerous. The next morning, I called Daniel. I sounded broken. Defeated. Exactly how he wanted me to sound. I told him, "I don't know what to do. Everything's collapsing." He was silent for a moment, then gave me fake comfort. "You'll bounce back. You always do." But something about the way he said it felt sharp. Like he hated the sentence even as he spoke it. Then I baited him. I said, "Honestly, I may liquidate everything. Sell the apartment. Pull my investments. Start over somewhere quiet." Silence. Then, the smallest shift in his voice. Excitement. Hidden, but there. Like a starving man smelling food. He asked too casually, "Everything?" Even that offshore account? My heart stopped. I had never told him about that account. Not once. Only 3 people knew. Me. Claire. My financial attorney. So how did Daniel know? There it was. Proof. Not enough for court. But enough for truth. I hung up and called Claire. Her voice trembled when she answered. Then she said words that hit me like lightning. I didn't want to tell you because I thought I was imagining it, but Daniel contacted me weeks ago. My chest tightened. What? She cried softly. He said you were changing, becoming arrogant, that you were hiding money, that maybe I should protect myself before you ruined my life. Classic manipulation. Poison whispered gently. That's what jealous people do. If they can't destroy your success directly, they isolate you. Turn love into doubt. Trust into suspicion. Friends into strangers. They destroy your support system first, because lonely people collapse easier. But Daniel underestimated one thing. Claire loved truth more than comfort. She secretly saved every message he sent. Every text. Every voice note. Every fake warning. And buried in one voice message. We found it. His mask slipped. For just 2 seconds. Rage came out. Raw. Ugly. He said. Why does everything always work out for him? Then silence. Then fake calm again. But that sentence? That was the heart of it all. Not hatred. Envy. Deep envy. The kind that grows quietly for years until it becomes revenge. Now I knew. Daniel didn't just want what I had. He needed proof that I could lose it. Because insecure people feel powerful when successful people suffer. I hired a private cyber investigator. 48 hours later. Truth exploded. Daniel had cloned data from my laptop months earlier during a weekend trip. He built fake email trails. Leaked company files anonymously. Created financial flags. And there was worse. Much worse. He had been quietly taking money. Small amounts. Tiny enough not to notice. For over a year. Hundreds became thousands. Thousands became hundreds of thousands. He stole while smiling in my face. The betrayal was bigger than greed. It was obsession. He wanted my life piece by piece. And when he couldn't have it, he decided to ruin it. That's the darkest truth about jealousy. Some people would rather destroy beauty than build their own. We handed everything to federal investigators. Daniel was arrested 3 days later. Fraud. Cybercrime. Corporate espionage. Financial theft. Conspiracy. His face was on the news. The same face I once called brother. But what he said during interrogation chilled everyone. He confessed calmly. I just wanted him to feel small, the way I felt small standing next to him. That was it. Not money. Not revenge. Not hatred. Humiliation. Comparison had broken his mind. He measured his worth against mine until envy became identity. And envy, when fed long enough, turns love into violence. Months later, my name was cleared. My company begged me back. Offered me more money. More power. More status. I refused. Because something inside me changed. I no longer wanted to win loudly. I wanted peace quietly. Claire and I left Chicago. Bought a home on the coast where mornings smelled like salt water in silence. No skyline. No politics. No fake smiles. Just peace. But Daniel left me with one lesson I'll carry forever. Not everyone clapping for you is happy for you. Some people clap to stay close enough to study your weaknesses. Watch carefully. Jealous people reveal themselves in patterns. They minimize your wins, question your choices, secretly enjoy your failures, compete where there is no competition, and slowly poison what they can't become. Because envy is silent until it becomes destruction. And sometimes, the person secretly wanting you to fail is the one calling you brother. Jealousy rarely announces itself. It smiles, it supports, it stays close. And then, when your guard drops, it strikes where it hurts most. So watch carefully, not everyone near you is rooting for you. Some are only waiting for your fall. This is human nature, dark, silent, and dangerously real. See you in the next story.